Hello students, welcome back to my another video from my YouTube channel, that is Monika's biology tutorial. And today we are going to talk about a very important topic, that is basis and its classification. Now we will dealing with this chapter and we will learning the reference of NCERT book, and I hope that you will be getting each and every point in a very easy manner. In previous video we have learned the definition and classification of acid, and now here I am explaining the definition of basis chemically. Basis or say a substances which dissociate to gives hydroxy ion in water. Now, what is base? A substance which dissociate to give hydroxide ion in water, that is basis. OH negative as a hydroxide ion, but with negatively charged ion. For example, sodium hydroxide, it means NaOH, and it dissociate to give hydroxide ion, that is OH negative and Na positive. OH negative ion as a negatively charged, alright, but in water. Similarly, other example is potassium hydroxide, KOH, and KOH dissociate to gives OH negative, that is hydroxide ion, and K positive in water, right? The next example is calcium hydroxide, CaOH whole twice, and it is also dissociate and gives 2 OH negative and Ca2 positive in water. Alright. Or a base may be defined as a oxide or hydroxide of a metal, or an aqueous ammonium, that is NH4OH, which react with H positive or hydronium ion H3O positive of an acid to form salt and water only. So a base may be defined as oxide or hydroxide of a metal, या फिर aqueous ammonium, which react with H positive of an acid to form salt and water. And this is another definition of base. For example, CuO, ZnO, NaOH, KOH, NH4OH, that is ammonium hydroxide, right? For example, CuO as a metal oxide. Metal oxide is that when metal react with oxygen to form a metal oxide, plus HCl, it means acid which contain H positive ions, and here to form CuCl2 plus H2O, that is water, that is salt. Alright. Next, remember that some basis oxide is water insoluble and some hydroxide basis is water soluble. So based upon the solubility, we can classify the bases into two categories. First one, water soluble. Next one, water insoluble. Water soluble examples: NaOH, sodium hydroxide; KOH, potassium hydroxide; NH4OH, that is ammonium hydroxide. And water insoluble examples is CuO, PbO and ZnO. Alright. Mainly water soluble bases. These water soluble bases are known as alkali. It is very important point. Now we are going to talk about some general properties of bases, or we can say the physical properties of bases. Physical properties, or we can say general property of bases. First property is bases have bitter taste. Second property is that soapy feel. Bases have soapy feel. And third property is that red litmus paper, or say solution, or we can say paper in blue. It means red litmus paper turn into blue. These properties of bases due to the presence of OH1 negative, that is hydroxide ion, in the solution. Next topic is alkali. Most of the students are confused in alkali and bases. So an alkali is a water soluble base. The first point is that water soluble base, which in aqueous solution gives hydroxyl ion, or we can say hydroxyl ion as the only negatively charged ion, right? For example, NaOH, KOH, NH4OH, Na2O, K2O, etc. Here again remember it that all alkalis are bases, but all bases are not alkali. It is very important line, that is all alkali are bases, but all bases are not alkali. Alright. Okay, now we are going to talk about the next topic, that is classification of bases. Mainly bases are classified on two ways. First, based upon strength, and second one based upon concentration. Here again, based upon strength, bases are classified in two categories. First one, strong bases. Second one, weak bases. Mainly strong bases which dissociate almost completely in mandatory moderatory concentrated aqueous solution. Okay, so completely dissociate and producing a high concentration of OH negative ion. High concentration of OH ion. So these are called strong acid. Whereas weak acid, the bases which dissociate partially dissociated in a concentrated aqueous solution and produced a low concentration of hydroxide. Low concentration of OH negative hydroxide ion. So these are known as weak acids. Strong acid, for example, NaOH, KOH, BaOH की whole twice, right? MgOH की whole twice. And weak basis example is that NH4OH, CaOH की whole twice, AlOH की whole twice, aluminium hydroxide, ZnOH की whole twice, CuOH की whole twice, etc. Now on the basis of concentration of base, it is also classified into two categories. First one, concentrated base. Second one, dilute base. In the concentrated base, having a relatively high percentage of base, it means OH negative in its aqueous solution, and whereas dilute base having a relatively low percentage of base, OH negative in its aqueous solution.